Yes. Now we will see the task of CPU. Here in this topic we will discuss about the various tasks which will be performed by the CPU, which will be performed by the central processing unit. These tasks we can describe as fetch the instruction, then interpret, the instruction, then fetch the data, then process the data, and then write the data. So these are the basics task of the central processing unit, in which first we will fetch the instructions. If we want to perform a specific task, then obviously we have to give some instructions to computer. So whatever instruction we are giving, so we have to fetch it. So first task of the CPU is fetch the instructions which are given by the user. Second, interpret the instructions into the computable language. Because we know that the computer cannot understand the high level language, computer can understand only machine level language. Only user or human being can understand high level language. So whatever instruction will be provided by the user or human being, it will be in form of high level language. So some device should be there which will convert the high level language to machine level language, which can be understood by the computer system. So in second part we will interpret the instructions into the computable format. Third is the fetch the data. We will extract the data and then we will process the data, and whatever result we are getting after processing, we will write the data. So these are the basic 5 tasks of the computer which will be controlled by the central processing unit. So central processing unit is having various tasks for a specific purpose to get the desired output. So we have to follow this instruction, and we have to follow this instruction in the same order. If we will change the order, then we will not get the desired output. To get the desired output, we have to follow the same order. That first fetch the instruction, then interpret the instructions, then fetch the data, then process the data, and then write the data. So now we will see the next topic as this. We can see this is the instruction cycle. So instruction cycle is a cycle which will provide the various phases of the instruction to perform a specific task, because whenever we will provide the instruction to our computer system, then it will be processed phase by phase. So in each cycle we are having multiple phases, and these phases can be described as number of phases are here. So first phase is fetch the instructions like this. Second one, execute the instruction. And then store the result and then we can see write the instruction for next phase. So these are the basic 4 operations which will be performed by the instruction. If we are talking about the instruction cycle, so these 4 phases are there where we have to fetch the instruction, then execute the instruction, then store the address, store the result, store the output into a particular register, and then write the desired output into a specific format for further use. So these are the basic 4 phases which we have to follow in instruction cycle. In as the name is given there, instruction cycle, so instruction cycle is having various of phases which we have described here, and we have to follow the instructions in the same order. If in the cycle we will interchange the phases, then we will not get the correct answer, then we will not get the correct output, we will not get the desired output. So to get the desired output, we have to follow the number of phases in such a manner. So this is the basic characteristics of the instruction cycle, which will be comprised in a number of phases, which is formed as a instruction cycle. So now we will move to next topic. Next topic is stack. Now we will see that what is the meaning of stack. Stack is an architecture through which we have to perform specific operations. In stack, we have to follow the concept as last in first out. So stack follows the concept of last in first out. Second, we will see the basic architecture of the stacks. Here we will see operations, push and pop. So in stack organization, we can perform 2 types of operation: push operation and pop operations. Now we will see what is the difference between the push operation and pop operation. If we want to insert new element into the stack, then we have to perform the push operation. If we want to delete the particular element from the stack, this operation is known as the pop operation. So every stack will perform 2 types of operation, which is known as the push operation and pop operation. If we want to insert a new element, then we have to perform the push operation. If we want to delete a particular element, then we have to perform the pop operations. So here we can see, and one more variable which we are using, which is known as the stack pointer. Stack pointer. So now we will see that what is the meaning of stack pointer. Stack pointer is a pointer which will indicate the top value of the stack. It will display the top values of the stacks. Here we can see if this is data 1, this is data 2, this is data 3, this is data 4, this is data 5, this is data 6, then this is the stack pointer. So stack pointer always point out the top element of the stack. So here we can see the stack pointer is indicating the D6. So and we will see insertion and deletion will be taking place at the top. So here we can see the 2 operations, insertion and deletion, will be performed on the top of the elements, top elements of the stack. So here we can see we are using the stack operations. Here we can see the types of stacks. Types of stack. Stack is basically divided into two parts. First is known as the register stack and second one is known as the memory stacks. We know that in computer system we are having number of registers. So all registers will be arranged in a stack organization. All registers are arranged in a top to down approach, and we can see this. First we will insert D1, after that D2, after that D3, after that D4, after that D5, and after that D6. So 6 elements we will arrange in the vertical order like this. So stack is as we discussed that stack is divided into two parts. First one is the register stack and second one is the memory stack. So register stack will consist number of registers and memory stack will consist number of memory cells. So here we can see that various type of registers is there. R1, R2, here we can see R3, R4, R5. So we have to arrange in stack format. Here R1, R2, R3, R4 and R5, and stack pointer will indicate the top element of the stack as a register 5. So we can arrange the number of registers in such a manner which is known as the register stack, and in the same manner we can arrange the memory cells in form of stack which is known as the memory stack. In the same manner, the stack pointer in the memory stack will point out the topmost memory cell of the memory. So we have discussed the basic characteristic of the stack here, various operations of stack here, various types of stack here, and what is the working criteria of the stack. So now we will move forward for the next topic.